We have fights on Saturday.
Hmm,
We
that's
have,
refreshing. We don't have those very often.
yeah, you're right. Yeah. And you know where they take place?
Oh, is it on Apex Island?
It's Yaz Island,
Mm,
aka Fight Island, aka
mm,
Abu Dhabi.
right.
Now,
Kate's on the beach right now.
let's take it. Yeah, yeah. Let's take a look at the card, and by look at the card, we're gonna take a look at the top three.
Hmm.
Not that there are not other prospects and good fights on there. There's a few matchups that I like, but as far as what to talk about, it's really the top three fights that are super intriguing to me. And we'll start with the third fight down. It's a heavyweight tilt. Ben Rothwell taking on Marcin Tybura. What do you think about that, and what do you think it does for the heavyweight division?
Before we get to that, I'm hitting you with the cold hard facts about this card and last week's card. Last week card, it was a filler card. This week card, it's a filler card. They both filler cards. All we're trying to do is get from Israel to Khabib. That's it. These
It is.
cards, these cards ain't got nothing else to offer. But back on track. Okay, Rothwell. Rothwell was gone
Yeah.
for a long time. He was
Uh huh.
suspended for drugs. Now
Yeah, he
he's
sure
back
was.
off the
Yeah.
drugs. He looked kind of rough at first. Obviously, your old man, dusty old man, your old rusty old man, because you've been gone. So
Yeah.
now, knock some of the rust off. He's looking a little bit better. Tybura just be getting beat up, knocked out by people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah. So whatever. It's 210 to. Are they ranked? I don't care. It's two.
I don't.
It's two
I
heavyweights.
just have the Google thing. I'm
Nah,
not.
it's whatever.
It's a
They're
screen. I would click on them and tell you if
I
it
don't care.
was, but
I think
it's
anybody else does
yeah.
either. They're
It's
there.
okay.
They'll swang and dang. It'll be fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I,
Ben Rothwell, man. Uh, I like him as a fighter. I think he always like he is a he's an unorthodox dude, and you're not sure what he's gonna do. And I always like his fights for that, and also he's a real vet in the game. I mean, he's fought all the way back in the IFL days.
yeah.
Um, I think he was, I think he got beat by Nelson for that IFL title, if I'm not mistaken. I probably am mistaken, but I whatever. He fought in the IFL, so did Roy Nelson.
Yeah.
Anyway,
They were there.
they were there. Roy Nelson won the belt. History lesson
Do with that
12.
information what you
Terrible.
will.
Yeah, just contextless information session over. So I like watching him fight, and you're right. Marcin Tybura has not. He was looking pretty hot there for a little bit as far as a heavyweight prospect, and things have not necessarily worked out for him. This is a good fight for where, I don't know if they have a number by their name. I don't know what the numbers are, but I do know that this is a good fight for both men uh, at the place they are in their careers. Um, yeah, Ben Rothwell is a blood and guts kind of heavyweight fighter. He's durable as hell. Marcin Tybura less so. So I'm excited for this. Yeah, I mean, it's a coin toss. A coin toss. Jeez.
When that cost.
Yeah, it's a coin toss with Ben Rothwell. It's like you flip it up in the air and you either call boring Wallenstall decision or an uncharacteristically crazy heavyweight fight. It's one or the
Yeah.
other. It's
Yeah.
nothing in between. So
Hmm.
for that, I'm excited. Now we'll move on to the co-main event, which you said was a late addition to the card.
No, so Barboza was fighting somebody else, and that person just recently got injured and fell off, and Amirkhani jumped in. Let me see who that was.
Okay. Yeah, and while you're looking that up, I'll just mention that Perez Almeida got canceled because no, it wasn't Perez. It was Thomas Almeida and
It was Sadiq Yusuf.
that was set to fight Barboza.
Barboza, yep, because Barboza went down to featherweight.
Almeida canceled bout. There we go. Yeah,
Thomas Almeida was going to fight.
There you go. Thank you. I spelled his name wrong.
Yes.
Who was he fighting?
Alejandro Perez. Who tested
okay, I was right. Perez. But it was the wrong Perez I was thinking of. Alejandro Perez tested positive for COVID, unfortunately.
Yes, that is correct.
And Thomas Almeida got his fight canceled. That's a dude that I'm always excited to watch Thomas Almeida fight, but he is Thomas Almeida, kind of a side note on that guy. He is like an unfulfilled promise. That is how I feel about him. That
There's many of those in the UFC.
Yeah, there are so many of those in MMA just throughout time. The Eric Silva's, the John Hathaway. Yeah, there's a bunch of, but yeah, when he got slept by Garbrandt was when his star just plummeted.
Yep.
He had some really great performances, man. He had some awesome performances. But to get back to the card, we have Barboza taking on Amirkhani. I love this fight. As a fight to push Barboza at featherweight, very good. As a fight to test how good Amirkhani actually is, very good. I love this fight, and I'm amazed that it came together late notice because of how much sense it makes. It makes a lot of sense.
Amirkhani just fought, right? He was recently.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am concerned, though. I'll tell you what. Yeah, he's coming off of that quick submission at 251 in the first round. I've seen him in fights that are rough and brutal. I've seen him get beat up real bad. He doesn't really respond very well to getting brutalized. And I think at featherweight, Barboza might just beat the hell out of him. But that being said, if it goes to the ground, he has Amirkhani's got excellent grappling, slick submissions. And maybe he switches it up and really does some cool stuff on the feet with Barboza. But I think Barboza on the feet at featherweight is God. Man, right at lightweight, it was oh Lord, dude. Some of those kicks and strikes are just so painful. At featherweight, he's faster and really popping on dudes. I think he beats Amirkhani up.
I mean, it's entirely possible. And looking at their skill sets and how they fight, it is a huge, huge test for Amirkhani. Massive. And
most elite guy he's ever fought.
Yeah, but for Barboza, this is important too, because even though Amirkhani is not necessarily, he's not the super young upstart he was when he first entered into the UFC, he's still relatively young. He's still one of the dudes on the come up. So Barboza, had that fight against Dan Ige. I thought he won. Dan Ige, there we go. I thought he won. And I really want to see if he can do it again against Amirkhani. And yeah, I think we have a general expectation of how that fight should go, but I got to see it. I got to see what happens. And yeah, last but not least, it's definitely not least because it's the main event. It is Cory Cory Sandhagen taking on, why am I blanking on his
Marlon
name?
Moraes.
Marlon Moraes. Jesus Christ. Sandhagen Moraes.
It's kind of a weird matchup, isn't it? Isn't
I
that
love
weird?
it. I
I mean,
love
like
it.
it's cool, like like their style matchup is great, but it seems
Great.
like a fight they wouldn't make. Like Sandhagen just got quickly finished by what's his name, who they're not giving title shot to for some reason,
Yeah.
Aljo, and Marias kind of got screwed over with that whole Aldo situation, but I do like the fight a lot. Very interesting. That's what it's the Aljo situation though. Like, why have they not booked Jan versus Aljo yet? That should have been on the Khabib Gaethje card, or at the very least should be booked. I mean, we're already booked through like the rest of this year. Are you telling me Jan's not going to defend that belt the whole rest of this year when the number one contender is we already know who it is and we're sitting ready to go? Like, what's the holdup? So I'm concerned that whoever wins here has a very dominant, like Moraes, who has a win over Aljo, right? Moraes goes out there and like murks Sandhagen. They're like, all right, cool, you're in. I'm like, nah, we're not doing that. Aljo's up next.
Yeah. I really do. I love it from a stylistic standpoint because each guy is phenomenal on the feet. And that's probably where it's going to take place. You have I think why the matchup got made is because of that style. Even though both men are kind of on different trajectories, not much. I mean, Moraes was only one up, and Sandhagen is only one down. Um, I think that the fact that Moraes is not, I don't expect either man to shoot on the other one.
Mm.
And Sandhagen, there's arguments for both men. Sandhagen is a volume striker. He doesn't wear down over 25 minutes. He's good. He is good conditioning wise. Moraes, we've seen wear down over 25 minutes.
Yeah.
The power equation, in my mind, is clearly on the side of Moraes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a matter of, can Moraes get his job done quickly, or can Sandhagen drag this shit out until the fifth round?
Yeah.
I'm excited for this fight. I think while I don't think the winner should get the next title opportunity, it puts them right up there to the point where I'm not sure what they do from there. The winner of this fight, if they don't get a title shot, I'm not sure where you put them or what you do with them.
Yeah.
So it's kind of one of those. Let's just say the winner is not in a bad spot coming out of the main event.
You're basically the number 2 guy in the division. The winner is.
Yeah, you are the negotiations backup. You're the guy. You're the guy that is lucky to receive the phone call when the actual number one contender doesn't want to play ball.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's it'll be a fun night of fights come Saturday. Even though even though they seem, these cards are super light on name value. They are. I don't think anyone could argue the opposite. But they've still delivered some pretty good action, and I like when my expectations are super low because it usually turns in some pretty dang good fights. But yeah, man, I'm excited for Saturday. Like I'm excited for every Saturday because that's kind of how the UFC's been getting it done here lately. These shotgun blasts of events.
Mm-hmm. Non-stop, baby.
Non-stop.